Hi, Dr. Laura here, and I'd like to talk to you about initiating your success. I'm taking 25 years of being a teacher and administrator at the elementary, middle, high school, and college level, as well as being a parent, to start or continue with you on your journey every day to make the decisions to be a successful young adult. I'd like to start here with reviewing 5 quick tips for initiating academic success. The first tip targets the use of a planner or a calendar. And it doesn't matter which type of system you use. You can use today's latest technology and you can have a PDA or your smartphone or iPhone, or you can go with the traditional route of pen and pencil and paper. I still am using the traditional route, although my daughter is slowly nudging me in the way of using technology. But the biggest thing to remember is you need to start to record important dates. And important dates include things like days off from school, important birthdays, especially your best friend's birthday, and it may be the opening of a new movie or the release of a new book that you want to read. And then you need to go through the school calendar and you need to include any days off that you might have from school, any and special testing dates that might be coming up. Record any appointments that you might have, which include doctor appointments or dentist appointments. Write down things which are going on a weekly or a daily basis for you, like you want to attend a special club meeting, or maybe you have a special band rehearsal, or you have basketball practice, or you have a big game or a dance that you want to attend at school. Also put in any assignment dates which are due, whether they be short term, like you have an essay which is due on Friday, or maybe it's long term, like you have a PowerPoint presentation, or you have an essay which is due, maybe a research paper. The next thing that you need to do once you have everything written down is you need to review your calendar. And the best thing to do is look at your calendar on a daily basis, but also review on a weekly and a monthly basis. And this really gives you a good picture of everything that you want to do and everything that you want to accomplish. The big thing to do is to take a date or a day of the week that's consistent for you, that's easy for you, so that you can review on a weekly and a monthly basis. I like to choose Sunday because I see Monday as being the first day of the week. But whatever day works for you is going to be good. And then what you need to do is you need to look at your calendar on a daily basis. And from that you can make your plan or your to-do list about what it is that you need to accomplish, so that you can start to prioritize and actually come up with a plan on how you want to get all of this done, so that you can feel accomplished and you can feel like you're actually being successful. The next tip to help you achieve academic success has nothing to do with a calendar or getting work done, but has to do with taking care of yourself. And probably the biggest complaint of teenagers is that they never get enough sleep. And if this is you falling asleep while you're doing your homework late at night, then that's a clue to you that something needs to change. And if you are falling asleep instead of waking up refreshed and ready for the day, then you need to come up with some kind of a nighttime routine so that you are going to sleep in a timely manner. And with the recommendation that most teenagers should be getting 8 to 9 hours of sleep, that's going to take some time for you to think. Now, a lot of teenagers say, well, I go to sleep early enough, but I can't fall asleep. And what you need to do is you need to turn off all of your technology, and you just need to sit and relax in bed. And this is a good time to do some light reading, maybe review some notes for a test that you have coming up tomorrow, or this good time to review your calendar. But just unplug from the technology, because the technology actually is stimulating your brain to stay up later. So you want to do something which is doesn't require a lot of thought or process. And it's supposed to be boring, because going to sleep is not supposed to be something that's exciting. But if you wake up and you feel better in the morning, then it's all been worth it. The next thing is to eat healthy and balanced snacks and meals. And I read a very disturbing statistic, which I will be talking about in other places, but 90% of teenagers do not eat the recommended fruits and vegetables on a daily basis. And what I'm talking about is, for girls, the recommendation is 2.5 cups, for boys 3.0 cups of fruits and vegetables on a daily basis. And that is for teenagers who have 30 minutes of physical activity. And if you're a student athlete, you need to consume much more fruits and vegetables. Along with that, you need to consume your protein, which you can do through your dairy, whether it be your yogurt or your milk, and then a good balance of your grains and your meats. And we'll be talking about this in other places as well. So in addition to eating your fruits and vegetables, you should also be consuming water in order to stay hydrated. And two points that I read, which I thought were very interesting, is that very often when you're hungry, it's really because you're starting to become dehydrated and you need to drink some water or you need to eat a piece of fruit. Another thing is when you're feeling tired, that's also a signal to your body that you're dehydrating. And very often, by the time that you feel thirsty, your body is dehydrated. So you really need to figure out how you can get more fruits and vegetables, which are water-based, and actually drinking water into your daily routine, so that you're avoiding being hungry, you're avoiding being tired, and you're avoiding being thirsty, so that you can keep everything up and running. The last thing to keep in mind is teenagers socialize around food. So if you can make good choices while you're also socializing with your friends, you have a great heads up and advantage to teenagers that don't stop to make these kinds of good choices. Tip 4 is studying according to your learning styles. Now, learning styles is how do you begin to listen, process, retain, and then learn new and difficult information. And this is can be as complex as we want it to be, and these are things which I'll be talking to you about more in future videos. But basically, we have students who thrive and do very well in the traditional school environment of taking tests and paper and pencil in uniform rows and in desks. But we have some students that do better in an informal design, maybe outside, maybe sitting on the floor, sitting on the grass, doing their studying or their learning in a couch or a comfortable chair. Some students need various types of light. Some students need more light than others. Some students need dim light. And how do you go about accommodating for that? Some students like to listen to music or white noise. Some students like it totally quiet. Some students are auditory and visual. They do very well with the book environment. But some people are becoming more tactile and like to work with computers, or they like to work with various types of tools. They like to explore, or they like to be physical in some other manner, like dancing or acting out a skit or a play. So these are just some of the things that you might want to take into mind when you're making your plan on how you're going to best study and learn new information. There are some students that like to work alone. And in this case, you have a young man who's sitting by a window with a lot of bright sunlight coming in. You have some students that like to read in a very comfortable environment with lots of soft pillows surrounded them. Or some students that like to work in a more traditional environment like a library by themselves with brighter light, which helps them to focus on this new information. Some students like to work with one other person. Some students like to work in groups, whether they be small groups or whether they be a little bit larger. And then you have some students that like to work one-on-one, but they like to have an authority present, whether that person be the teacher or whether it be a parent or maybe an older sibling. But the big thing to remember is your learning style is the way that you learn, and it is unique to you as your fingerprint is. And the more that you understand your learning style, the more successful you're going to be, and there's no stopping in what you can accomplish and what you can achieve on a daily basis. The last tip that I have for you is owning your own work. And success is hard, and it's something that you need to work on every day, and it's very rewarding. We have a lot of teenagers, we have a lot of adults that like to take shortcuts, and they either like to copy other people's work, or they take ideas from others and they represent them as being their own. And the only thing that I can say to you is that working in this manner or taking these shortcuts actually damages or slows you down on your journey of becoming successful. And when you own your own work and you do your own work, you are also taking the time to build some values that are going to serve you as an adult. Values like being persistent and persevering, being patient with yourself while you're learning new material, accepting that it's okay to fail every once in a while, and what can I learn from this failure so that I don't do it again, so that I become a stronger person. And also, it's building your integrity. So these are all things which you want to keep in mind. And remember, only you can initiate your success. And I would love it if we started this journey together now, and we can do this. And you can learn more about how you can initiate your academic success and more specifics about nutrition and your learning style by visiting me at www.initiatingsuccess.com. I look forward to seeing you again.